All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 9279W, State of Texas versus Jerry Carl Williams. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Travis Banks, the state of Texas.
Defense.
Robert Brobach for Jerry Williams.
And are you Mr. Williams?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Williams, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Off the record for a moment. So attorneys, you all are blocking the door where the inmates come out. And I forgot to make this announcement. The deputies are in charge of court security. If something happens and you are in their way, they have my permission to make the court safe by whatever means they're making the court safe. So if you're in their line of vision, that's on you. We're back on the record. All right, did you understand you have a right to have a grand jury hear the evidence in this case and make a decision on whether or not to indict and hold you over for trial? Did you understand your attorney has 2 days from the presentation of the information and 10 days from the presentation of the information to prepare for trial? You don't have to speak up so the court reporter can hear.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.05 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Going to show you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Going to show you what's entitled Information. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the information?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
State, are you proceeding on the information as presented?
No, Your Honor, the state moves to proceed on the lesser included violation of protective order class A misdemeanor.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that the state is proceeding on the offense of violation of protective order or bond conditions as a Class A misdemeanor? Range of punishment is up to $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to a $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, ma'am, he has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, ma'am, he has.
Do you believe he's currently competent, was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, he is.
Mr. Williams, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of violation bond and protective order. There's a $0 fine. The state is recommending deferred adjudication. There's to be no contact with Latasha, Latosha Williams, and anger management course. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, sir.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 12 months. There be 100 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the lesser included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor, the state offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachment.
No objection, Your
All
Honor.
right, and state, did you have a chance to speak with the complainant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. White, your client wants to speak to you.
Yes, we did make her aware of this.
All right, thank you. You may continue to confer. Mr. Williams, I'm showing you what's entitled a waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it at all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, ma'am, aware.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I think he'll follow the rules, Judge, and understands what he needs to do.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Williams,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
Much.
Age?
Well,
All right, and is this one child, is the complainant the mother?
no,
All right. So what is your relationship to Latasha Williams? Your wife? How long have you been married?
year,
1 year. How long have you known her?
2 years.
I'm sorry,
2,
2 years. And how old are you?
32.
Are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
Doing what?
I'm a truck driver, but I operate heavy equipment right now.
Okay. All right, so I want to explain something to you. She no longer wants to be with you. Now, I mean, you say that's fine, but what I have before me is you contacting her. She doesn't want you anymore. Legally, I guess you all are still married, but in the real world, right, she doesn't want you anymore.
Right.
She doesn't want to be your wife. She doesn't want you contacting her. Do you all have property together? All right, you don't have property together. You don't have children together. Do you all have friends in common? You don't have friends in common. So it's like the song Maya, The Case of the Ex. You don't have any mutual friends. You don't have any children. You don't have any property together. The only thing you have is name on paper.
Right.
So did you all legally marry or is this common law that you're doing?
Legally, man.
All right. So she doesn't want you anymore. You can get a divorce on paper or she can get a divorce on paper,
Yeah, I already got it.
but so you have it filed?
Yeah, I'm going, it's already in the process.
All right. So you understand you're not to have contact with her. She's done.
Yes, ma'am.
And you should be able to be done with her because you're 32 and you've only known her for 2 years. So you went 30 years on the planet without knowing her. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sure, is your mom currently alive?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure your mom has told you to move on.
Most definitely. Family members, everybody.
Mm-hmm. So you need to do it. Otherwise, you're looking up to a year in the Bexar County Jail. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 1 year deferred adjudication. 100 hours of community service restitution. How often do you see your 12-year-old?
He live in Illinois. Only sometimes when I go back to Louisiana, I'll see him. But I just pay child support basically.
So you're not a father?
I'm a father, but
No.
I'm not there. His mom took him to a place where he can have a better education, basically, because there's nothing where I'm from. That's the same reason why I moved here.
Well, no. Being a father is more than just paying child support.
I'll be there when I can. But
Well-
if he's in another state, what can I do?
Oh, you can have contact with him. You
I
can
do
be
all that. I
a,
talk to him every day.
you can be a
FaceTime.
person in his life.
I do all.
So it's going to be parenting classes. And the community service hours will not be waived. If you want to pay off your community service hours, you're more than welcome to pay off your community service hours at $7.25 per hour. And there's going to be parenting classes, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs, or either you can do the patch. And we'll do field visits one time per month for 3 months. There's to be no contact with Latasha Williams. And when I say no contact, what that means is you can't have some third party call her, text her. Don't send her flowers. Don't saying, sorry, it didn't work out. You're not to communicate with her at all. Is as if you never met her, you don't know her. Do you understand?
That's not. The parenting class I took in county, would that count for the parent, what you trying to give me? Because I
Oh, yeah. Why did you have to take parenting classes in Ledette County?
Volunteered to take.
No, why?
Why?
Yes.
Took it.
What, were you divorced? What was their child custody issues? Why?
I just took it just to know how to be a better parent, basically.
All right. Well, you'll need to provide proof of that to probation.
Okay.
All right. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
The removal of my ankle monitor.
Oh, yeah, we're not going to do that yet. But Sean,
Get that.
his ankle monitor can be removed once the complainant is contacted and see if the complainant has issues with that. The state will do that for you. So family violence. On this case, before his ankle monitor is removed, someone needs to contact the complainant and let her know that he's asking that the ankle monitor is removed and see if she has any objections to that. If she does have objections to that, we can come back to court and I'll hear what the reason is. All right. I'm going to show you.
Man, I'm a truck driver. I can't make a living being on ankle. I can't even find a
Sir,
job.
go around. Yeah. Why are you reaching through? They're going to call today. Here's the issue. And I don't think you understand the seriousness of the issue. Because when people come before me, guess what they want? They want these cases done. They want things to move on and they want their life to be back the way it was before they had a case. So the issue we have is a civil judge put in place a no contact order. You violated the no contact order. I've read your violations with her. So obviously there's some issue with you understanding the no contact order. And if you had to come to a criminal court, and this is a felony court, which means the state reduced your case from a felony to a misdemeanor, that means that there are issues with you and you're not understanding a court order. So what would it look like for me to think, oh, now he understands because he's talking to me, a judge, when he was talking to Judge Salinas and it didn't matter. So you understand? So that's why. So I want to make sure that the complainant knows that your attorney and you are requesting that the GPS be removed. If the complainant says, I'm in fear. I don't want the GPS removed. Guess what's going to end up happening? We're going to have a hearing. That's the way we do things in this court. Because my job is to make sure that one, when people are placed on probation, they're rehabilitated, and make sure that if there is a complainant out there, that that complainant is protected and society is protected. That's my job.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. So, Mr. Brawback,
Yes, ma'am.
they're going to speak to the complainant today. If you want to hang around and see if they get in touch with her,
Yes, ma'am.
then we may be able to take this up.
Okay.
And state if she is objecting to it and she wants to appear by Zoom, then we can do that today and have a hearing by Zoom.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
I'll be
Mr.
there.
Williams.
My name is Happy. I upload courtroom video for education purpose. This video may contain copyrighted works not specifically authorized for use, but believed in good faith to be protected by the fair use doctrine under Section 107 of U.S. copyright law.